My family was not a church-going family, but I, as a young child, felt that was important, so I took myself to church. I don't believe I really understood that as I went through things in my life, I needed to surrender them to Jesus.
So I was starting to follow like Wicca customs and beliefs, kind of believing in the power of nature. I would like gather herbs, and I would have all these crystals and stuff in my room. And I used tarot cards. That was like a main proponent of Wicca for me.
Before I got serious in the church, I was just kind of doing my thing and didn't really have a church home, didn't have anybody around me that taught me anything about the Bible, Jesus, anything. And I was just kind of floating through life, and we went to get married, and I was told we had to come to church or we weren't going to be able to get married.
I was bullied a lot in high school, and a lot of the kids that bullied me went to church. I was like, if this is the kind of people who go to church, I don't want to be part of that.
But my life was busy from morning to night without very much of a minute ever of dead time. And maybe I was trying to fill that void in my life.
My wife's coming to Calvary for a while, and I wasn't interested, had no interest at all. And I came home from work one day and she wasn't there. My kids were gone, and about 2 hours later, Josh called me and said, hey, we need to talk. I didn't know who Josh was, but I came because I knew what happened. I knew that there was a phone call made, and I knew why I needed to be here.
I guess maybe I was always sort of searching in one way or another.
I met my husband when we were in college. He invited me to go to church, and that was kind of like offensive to me. I did ask my tarot cards if I should go, and they annoyingly told me that I should. I truly believe, as weird as it sounds, like that God used my cards because he knew that I would listen, and he knew that I would go, and I did.
At that point, I think as I was driving here, it really started to set in that I was not where I should have been, and I wasn't doing the right things. It took that happening for me to get here. It changed everything at that point.
My life took a lot of turns for a while, and the season I'm in right now couldn't be more blessed. And I don't believe I would be in this season without God bringing me here.
And I really just felt so pursued by him in a way that I had never felt before either. All my life, I feel like I was the one doing the searching and the pursuing, and to have God literally just come out of the blue and come for me was just like, how do you say no to that? As
I found my way and met many friends in a different way, because many of the people here that I knew before, but not through a church family, and they knew what I had been through. They were praying for us so much all along, and they said, you know, let us help you. Let us help you through the grief. Let us help you sort of find that you can go on in life.
It changed my life completely, because there's some of the people I were hanging out with, it wasn't a great crowd for me, and I started swaying to people that I met at church and started forming great relationships with people that I've met here, and I was able to be open, and I was never able to be open before.
In the past, I was just really wrapped up in my own self and my own hurt and whatever I was going through, and I never thought about other people. And so now I can see all these people just as somebody who deserves that same love that I felt.
God has a plan for us in our lives, every one of us. I mean, our days were numbered before we were ever stepped foot on this earth. We have to have faith to not try to override his plan. We need Jesus. We need this help in our lives. All these things on earth are somewhat superficial, and what we're trying to handle here, we need to see the bigger picture.
My mom actually said something to me once. She said, God looked down and he saw you, a little witch in the woods, and he wanted to rescue you. And I love that because I feel like I can see it through God's eyes.
I'm in a line of work where I work with a lot of men who think they're tough guys, and that's what I was. And I still able to go in and spread the word to them and see their response is amazing to me. But when I go home, I can pray with my kids, I can pray with my wife, and it's just been life-changing. It really is. Like, sitting here right now talking about it gives me goosebumps.